my vehicle here is a really strange green. I went to so many paint shops to get the green colour and none of them had it, and then I went to a place where they make paint and they didn't have it there either, and they had this machine, so they stuck it on the front of my bonnet to tell me what the colour was, and the machine got it wrong. It was way too dark to my actual colour of my car, so they just went with the colour that the machine gave me and then handmade the colour I needed. So they added more lighter colours to get it my green, and then we tested a little bit on the front, but we didn't airbrush it, we just used a paintbrush, and it was pretty close, a little bit different. So I'm hoping by when I airbrush it I can feather it out and make it match beautifully. So let's give it a go. So it turns out the paint I bought is the wrong colour. They didn't make it close enough. I just sprayed a little bit and it's way off. So I'd use these colours here of my own airbrush paint and spent the last probably half an hour mixing paint together to make the exact colour that my van is. Okay, so I'm just going to be spraying light coats to start with, and you always want to spray on paper first, so that way you're not spraying back at all. You know, if you've got any water maybe in your water capture, it goes, you want to get a nice smooth coat, so you always spray there first. So let's get started. Through the storm we reach the shore, give it all, but I want more, and I'm waiting for you. So I've just done my first coat across the top here. As you can see, my paint mixing skills are bloody great. That's the first layer and it's pretty well accurately blended in. You can see the line here. I'm going to feather that out slowly with each coat. So I'm going to go and do the rest of that. So I'll do all over there, and over there, and I won't video it because it's boring to watch, but I'll show you the finished product. So I've just done the first two coats across the front. As you can see, it's all blended in perfectly and beautifully. So for about another 3 coats, you know, you want it a bit thicker than usual, so the car, so it doesn't, you know, fade so quickly, so it weathers well, you know. Well, it won't fade, so I'm going to do a gloss and buff coat after this. Okay, so now that I've done the front bit, I'm going to do this bit here. I just took off the tape around it, and I sprayed. Normally I spray here just in the centre and it feathers out naturally towards the edge of the tape, but the bottom didn't do that as much, so there's a bit of a line and it's slightly raised, and I don't want that because when I airbrush on it you'll have that line, which I don't want. So I'm going to get some of my wet dry sandpaper here. It's really fine stuff, and give it a super light sand just here so it blends into there. Okay, so it's all finished. All I've got to do now is the gloss coat and buff it so it's nice and shiny. Okay, so I just made a quick rundown to Super Cheap Auto to get the gloss coat and buff for it. So I bought this one here, which is the most expensive gloss coat, so it will last the longest and it's really good. So pretty much with gloss coat, what you actually want to do is you want to just keep layering it until you run out of gloss out of the can. You really want to make it as thick as you possibly can, and it will make the paint last the longest. And then once you've done that, get out the polish, which I've got just here, which is a really good, really strong, heavy duty one, so you only really have to do it once a year, polish your car, which is good. So another thing, that will last longer. Yeah, so I'm going to get started now. Like I did with the primer can, you want to shake it up for a good 5 minutes before you spray it, so it's really good. Okay, I'm just going to start shaking, shake. Okay, so it's the same as when you're spraying the primer. You want to just quick little sprays, okay, and just light coats with this. You don't want it to run at all, and you want to wait at least 5 minutes in between coats of spraying, okay? really tight fit. That's the room I have between here and the van, so it's tight fit to sort of film. There we go. Looking nice and blended. Okay, so I've done my first 2 layers, and as you can see, it's coming up nice and glossy. And what's brilliant too is the side, now that I've glossed it, you can't see it anymore. It's perfectly blended in, which is lovely. Same with the front, it's all blended and feathered in because I had to mix the colour myself, because it is such an unusual colour, nobody has it. Okay, so like I said before, with the bog you always read the instructions, so that's how I found out the bog doesn't stick to gloss coat. So just here, reading on the back here, it says at least wait 5 to 7 days before polishing. Okay, so I went and bought that polish. Good thing I read the instructions. So I won't apply that for the next 7 days, so I'll wait to do that one then. Okay, so now that it's all finished and all dried off, I can take all the mask stuff off now so you guys can see the finished product. Okay, so it's come out beautifully, just the way I wanted it to. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this helped you in your own car repairs, working on your own car. So yeah, that's Betty all done, all as good as new, nice and shiny and new. I actually contemplated when I was doing this, painting the grill bit here white. I've seen some bed fits with it like black or different colours, but I thought white because I've got the white stripes down the side. So I contemplated doing that when I was painting it, but I decided to keep it green.